Rally phase American turn 4. Wind change. 8. No wind change. Attempt to recover the American medium machine gun's function, requiring a roll of 1 for success. 1. The machine gun regains functioning. Attempt to auto-rally by the American unit near the river with the modifiers of +1, auto-rally, -1, building. 7. The unit regains morale. Auto-rally by the American leader with the modifiers of +1, auto-rally, +4, de-aim, -1, building. 3 + 4, 7. The leader regains morale. Attempt to rally by the half squad accompanying this leader with the modifiers of +4, de-aim, -1, building, -1, leader. 5 + 2, 7. The half squad also regains morale. Prep fire phase. American fire group in F2 consisting of 2666 squads and the medium machine gun on the wounded Japanese hero in F5 with 16 firepower +3, Stonehouse. 11 + 3, 14, no effect, and the machine gun loses its rate of fire. This prep fire phase will be particularly short because American forces will prioritize mobility in this phase and will primarily focus on clearing a path through the rubble-filled hexes in G1 and H2 and eliminating the Japanese demolition charge set on the bridge in N3. If activated in the next Japanese phase, this will lead to the isolation of some American units north of a tributary of the Pasig River. Movement phase. To eliminate the armed demolition charge, an American unit in good order that has not moved in the current phase and has expressed the intention of eliminating the demolition charge must be under the TI marker, will be able to attempt to eliminate the charge at the end of the close combat phase. In the case of this demolition charge in N3, Squad 666 can spend all its movement factors to enter Hex N3 and receive the TI marker. In the close combat phase, roll the dice, whose result must be less than or equal to 2 to eliminate this charge. As a modifier, we will have -1, clearance performed by one squad. The probability of success is therefore small in this current phase, and the Japanese will have a good chance of destroying this bridge in their phase, if they pass a die result less than or equal to 4 in the next rally phase, followed by passing a normal test check during their prep or advancing fire phase. Therefore, the Americans' plan will be to advance their units at the risk of being isolated beyond this bridge. The risk here will be the Japanese tank killer hero units. Well, let's see how things develop. Considering the issues above, the Americans will try to advance their units off the bridge in this phase. Squad 666 moves to O3, taking advantage of the smoke protection in front of them. Squad from M1 to the smoke hex at N4. Squad from L2 to N3. Sherman will move, spending 1 movement point to start, 1 movement point to change the vehicle cover R2O to N3. 1 movement point to enter N3. 1 movement point to change the vehicle cover arc to the O2-O3 axis and change the turret cover arc to the N4-O3 axis. Half the movement points to enter the rubble hex, fractions rounded up, and change the turret cover arc to the N4-O4 axis. So far, the total movement point expenditure is 11 movement points. At this point, the tank will have to undergo a bog test. The modifiers will be +1, normal pressure on the ground, +3, rubble, and the result must be less than 12 to pass. Six plus 4, 10. The tank does not get bogged down and moves to the P3 hex, changing the vehicle cover arc to P4Q3 and ending its movement phase on motion. Now it's the tanks with the 105 mm cannon turn, which spends 11 movement points to enter the rubble hex where it will undergo the bogging test with modifiers of +1, normal ground pressure, +3, entry into rubble hex. (11 + 4, 15). The vehicle gets bogged down, but they can still change the turret's cover arc and do so to the O4N4 axis. With this, the Americans could evacuate their units and prevent them from becoming isolated if the Japanese destroy the bridge. This doesn't prevent the Japanese from destroying the bridge and gaining 5 victory points, but that concern will be a matter for another time. Squad 666 moves to the dozer in G1 where they will attempt to create a trail through the rubble and receive the TI marker. The dozer and Squad 5, 4, 6 in the adjacent hex will also attempt to create a trail through this hex and gain the TI marker. Half squad moves in assault motion under the shell hole marker in G3. In this hex, Jim will try to assess the possibility of firing on this unit from the Japanese in C5 over the roadblock marker. The roadblock functions as a wall and has an elevation of 0.5 levels, and Jim is very unsure whether this attack would be legal or not. After reflection, he will carry out this attack, as he believes the shot will not cross the roadblock representation. In any case, the attack will be with 6 firepower plus 1 shell hole. (8 + 1, 9) with no effect. The machine gun loses its rate of fire, and the 2 residual fire marker will be deposited on the attacked hex. A new shot with 2 firepower plus 1 shell hole. (6 + 1, 7) with no effect. Leader 8-1 advances 1 hex in assault movement. The squad with the dismounted mortar should have assembled this mortar in this prep fire phase but does so now, and this squad receives the prep fire marker. Squad 546 moves to the hex with the wreck. In this hex, it is attacked by the Japanese squad in the warehouse with 4 firepower plus 1 wreckage. (7 + 1, 8) with no effect. A new shot with 2 firepower plus 1. (8 + 1, 9) with no effect, and the American squad continues under the shell hole at H3. Squad 747 will attempt to launch smoke at B3 requiring a 5 for success. (5) The smoke marker is deposited in the hex. Half squad moves to the hex with smoke in assault movement. 2 squads move to the hex where leader 9-1 is. Leader 9-2 next to squad 747 moves to the hex with smoke. Japanese stacking with the machine guns fire on the leader and the squad with 16 firepower plus 2 wood rubble plus 2 smoke. 6 plus 4, 10, normal morale check, and the machine guns maintain their rate of fire. Seven, the leader passes. Seven minus 2, leader 5, the squad passes. The 8 residual fire marker is deposited on the hex. Attack with the machine gun's rate of fire with 12 firepower plus 4, wood rubble and smoke. Seven plus 4, 11, unsuccessful, and the machine gun loses its rate of fire. Squads 747 and 666 advance to the hex ahead in an assault movement. This squad is attacked by the Japanese half squad with 4 firepower plus 2. (11 plus 2, 13, unsuccessful. Renewed fire with 2 firepower plus 2. 9 plus 2, 11, no effect. Firing from the Japanese stack in a 6 with 12 firepower plus 2 wood rubble. Eight plus 2, 10, pin test checked, and the machine gun maintains its rate of fire. Eight, squad 747 is pinned. 4, squad 666 passes. New firing with the machine gun's rate of fire and 4 firepower from the squads, for a total of 8 firepower plus 2. 7 plus 2, 9, pin test checked, and the machine gun maintains its rate of fire. Squad 747 is now pinned and will not be attacked. 4, squad 666 passes. New attack with the machine gun's rate of fire with 4 firepower plus 2. 5 plus 2, 7, pin test checked, and the machine gun loses its rate of fire. Eight, squad 666 is PNNED. Squad 747 to hex U6. In this hex, it will be attacked by the Japanese in Z7 with 8 firepower plus 2 wooden house, -1, FFNA. Double 2, 4, plus 1, 5, the shot will be covered and the result will be evaluated in the 6 firepower column, and the medium machine gun maintains its rate of fire. 5 in the 6 firepower column is 1 morale check. Nine plus 1, 10, the squad's morale is broken, and the hex should receive a 2 firepower counter for covering, but Jim misses by placing a 4 residual fire counter. Squad 666 moves in assault movement to U5. In this hex, it will receive a shot using the medium machine gun's rate of fire with 6 firepower plus 1. Five plus 1, 6, 1 morale check, and the medium machine gun maintains its rate of fire. 7 plus 1, 8, the squad's morale is broken. The armored vehicle advances to Hex D to changing the vehicle cover arc and seizing movement. Defensive fire pass. The Japanese squad fires with the light machine gun on the stack with the leader 9-1. This fire will be fired with 6 firepower plus 3, mixed stone house. 6 plus 3, 9, without effect. Firing from the Japanese stack in M5 with 12 firepower plus 5, hexes with smoke. 9 plus 5, 14, unsuccessful, and the machine gun loses firepower. Advance fire phase. In Jim's assessment, the modifiers for firing from the units on the far left of the American advance are too high and do not compensate for the possible attacks by these units, especially given the possibility of activating the Japanese sniper, which Jim always forgets. Firing from the stack with the American leader 9-2 on the Japanese in the Adobe rubble ahead with 6 firepower plus 3, Adobe rubble, -2, leader. Double 2, 4, plus 1, 5, 1 morale check. The shot is not affected by covering due to the presence of the American leader. Four, the hero passes. 3, the machine gun crew passes. 8 plus 1, 9, the squad suffers a reduction in personnel and is reduced to 348. Eight plus 1, 9, the crew's morale is broken. Firing from the pinned American units on the Japanese half squad with 6 firepower, halved by pin and advancing fire, modified by assault fire, and doubled due to point blank range, plus 3, stone house. Ten plus 3, 13, unsuccessful. Firing from the half squads on the hidden Japanese hero with 6 firepower reduced by halving, advancing fire, halving again, hidden target, and doubled, point blank range, for a total of 2 firepower plus 3, stone house. Five plus 3, 8, no effect. Checking the spread of fire in the hexes where this possibility may occur proves fruitless. Growth phase. Squad from U5 to U3. Squad from U6 to T5. Japanese crew stops next to the leader. Advance phase. Squad advances from O3 to O4. Squad with the medium machine gun from N3 to O3. Squad from N4 to the house in M4. Squad in H3 and half squad in G3 move to H4. Leader 8-1 stops next to the squads with broken morale in E3. Squad 747 to the hex to his people. Leader 9-2 moves to C3. Half squad advances to under the shell hole marker in the hex in front of him. Leader 9-1 with the squads to hex B3. Half squads advance to close combat against the Japanese hero. Leader 7-0 advance next to the American squad under the marker D. Close combat phase. Let's move on to close combat. First, we'll check for the possibility of an ambush. The modifiers will be Japanese -1, stealthy -2, concealed. Americans no modifiers. Americans 2, Japanese 3-3, 0, no ambush. The Americans will attack with a force of 6, halved to 3, Japanese under the concealment marker against one of the Japanese in a ratio of 3-1. A roll of 8 or less will be needed to affect the Japanese. The Japanese will attack with a force of 1 against one of the American half squads, which will defend with 3 in a ratio of 1-3, requiring 3 or less to affect the Americans. The modifier will be -1, hero. Let's start with the Americans. For the Japanese hero will be eliminated. Let's move on to the Japanese hero. 5-1, 4, the Americans are unaffected. Let's check for the possibility of opening the paths in the hexes with rubble. For the path to open, the dice result must be less than or equal to 2. As modifiers, we will have -5, those are -1 squad. Three. The path is opened in the first hex with rubble. 5. A path is also opened in the second hex, which will free up at least 2 American squads to face the Japanese. American units outside the Japanese line of sight receive the concealment marker and the pin markers are removed, and we can move on to the Japanese phase of the fourth turn. With the end of this American phase, we close this episode while the Japanese forces prepare their defense. They will desperately try to destroy another bridge and gain 5 more victory points. Well done, friends. Stay safe. Namaste.